My parents destroyed my 29th birthday dinner and slapped me with a $120,000 invoice, but I just smiled and watched their perfect family crumble. My phone has been blowing up for days. 53 missed calls from my mom Rebecca, 42 from my dad Edward, 28 from my sister Sarah. I'm not answering any of them. Let me take you back to the night it all started. They insisted on hosting my birthday dinner. My mom said, "Be here at 6:30 sharp. Dress nicely. This is important." When I walked in, it looked like a wedding reception. 18 cars outside. Aunts, uncles, cousins, my grandmother. Everyone dressed up, cameras out, a mountain of food on the table. Sarah met me at the door with this weird smile and led me in. My dad stood at the head of the table, glass in hand, and tapped it for silence. He started talking about how they'd sacrificed everything to raise me for 29 years. But his voice wasn't proud. It was cold, rehearsed. Then my mom walked to the wall of family photos, pulled down my graduation picture, and dropped it in a trash can they'd placed right there. Then another, and another. You were always ungrateful. You never appreciated anything. You drained us dry. No one moved. My grandmother covered her mouth. My cousin quietly started recording on his phone. Then my dad handed me a manila folder. On top it said, "Invoice for parenting services rendered." Inside was a line-by-line bill for my entire life. Diapers, food, college tuition, even birthday gifts. At the bottom, total due, $120,000. He said I could either pay them back in full or never speak to them again. They were done being my parents. Then Sarah stepped forward and held out her hand. Dad said the car I drove was still in his name, and he was giving it to her because she deserved it. She snatched the keys from me. That's when I saw him. My boss, David, sitting at the end of the table. My mom smiled and said they'd invited him so he could see who I really am. David stood and said after talking with my parents, he was terminating me for character issues. Effective immediately. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just looked at all their faces, the family that came to watch my humiliation, and I walked out. They thought they'd ended me that night, but what they didn't know was that I'd been collecting receipts for 3 years. They hated every choice I made. Not going to med school, not joining their church circles, not dating the girls they picked. And every time they handled family money, something didn't add up. So I kept proof. Copies of Grandma Rose's will, notes about a college fund, screenshots of their lies. After that night, I started using them. I called my regional manager, told him my boss had fired me at a family event after a private meeting with my parents. 2 hours later, HR reversed it, and David was suspended. Then I sent 3 messages. No accusations, just questions. To Uncle Michael. Did you ever get the $15,000 Grandma Rose left you? To Aunt Laura. Did you ever see your full share from the house sale? To my cousin James. Do you know what happened to the grandkids' college fund? That was all it took. Within days, documents surfaced. Michael found missing inheritance money. Laura's investigator found $150,000 wired to my mom's account. The bank told James the college fund had been drained. 5 withdrawals, all into my parents' account. 3 missing funds, 1 pattern. A family meeting exploded at Grandma's house. Michael came with a lawyer. Laura came with a report. My parents came with excuses and no proof. By the end of the night, there were lawsuits, investigations, and frozen accounts. They told everyone I destroyed the family, but all I did was turn on the light. A month later, my dad showed up outside my building. Gray, thinner, broken. He said I was ruining them, that they'd lose everything. If you just tell everyone you overreacted, we can go back to normal. Normal was them stealing and calling it love. Normal was humiliation disguised as family. I told him there's no normal to go back to. A few days later, my cousin texted, "They're settling. Everyone's getting what they're owed. My parents are selling the house, moving into an apartment. They say I killed the family, but they were the ones who set my life on fire at that birthday dinner. I just decided I wouldn't burn quietly."